We interrupt this program for a first alert weather advisory.
All right, and good evening to you. My name's Cody McFerrin. It's 7:15. We've had a very eventful evening, and there's been a lot that's happened over just the past hour or so, and we've got some viewer footage to talk about. So we're going to get to all of that right now. This video may be a bit long, but I want to cover a couple of things. We've had severe weather across the area, so let's go ahead and we'll talk about what's going on right now. So if you're wondering about the severe weather threat, at least for the short term, it is now over. So if you are in, let's say, Jackson County, Union County, Johnson County, Alexander County, Pulaski County, Massac County, if you're in Pope County, if you're in Saline County, if you're in Franklin County, if you're in portions of Perry County, well, actually all of Perry County, Randolph County, portions of, well, all of Washington County as well, and Jefferson County, and points basically east of there, except for Carmi, Grayville, and points east of that. Any of the points that I just called out are no longer going to be impacted by severe weather. So the threat for you is over. Right now, there's still some thunder, there's some lightning, there's some heavy rain, moderate rain at times across the area as well. But I'll put this in a loop just so you can see it over the past few hours. You can see the severe weather threat is over. The main concern right now is for those storms that we tracked earlier, and they are now moving out of our area and crossing the river as we speak, thankfully. Even for our friends down in Paducah, the threat is essentially over for them there, just still dealing with a little bit of the heavy rain. So let's back out a little bit. Let's take a look at what instigated this situation. Then we'll talk about some storm reports. Now, storms are over if you're in central, southern Illinois right now, and for the majority of us, all the storms are over. As we back things up a little bit, we're going to go ahead and take a look at the wide view, and these storm systems actually started back here along I-70, I-44, I-55, and I tracked those earlier for you. I think it was around 4:35 o'clock, and those were moving through. They would have actually been a little bit closer. So this was probably about 3:30, 4 o'clock. I started to go ahead and hone in on those storms, and as they continued to track through, we tracked them, and now they're here. Let's go ahead real quickly. Just go ahead and show you some of the other data we're looking at across the area. The 24-hour hail tracks data is popping on right now. This is just a general query from the radar system, and what it's doing is showing you the tracks of all the individual hail cells that we had, or any of the portions of that storm that spitted out hail, pops it onto the radar, and you can see that here had numerous areas that seen at least some small pockets of hail, and maybe up to the size of marbles, peas. Some areas also saw quarter size hail. As we take a look at local storm reports for signs of damage, we've had numerous reports come in, at least 6 or 7 of them. This one in Mount Vernon, just east of there, from Broadcast Media, was a report of a tree down on a power line. Unfortunately, where those strong winds came through, we had the power outage issues. Trees down on countrywide, including West Frankfort, Bunkner, and Benton. There was a tree reported down on a van and a camper, unfortunately, in Thompsonville. This was a report probably from WSIL. We had reports from train spotters of large trees down. I'm going to go ahead and zoom in. My mom's coming in. But over near my friend that lives over there, she knows where she is. But just east of your location, train spotters report large trees down, and the estimated winds near your area were 70 to 80 miles an hour. Back off west to Murfreesboro, we had multiple trees and especially large ones down and limbs across the town of Murfreesboro, and some on cars and several structures. Back towards the river in Gorham, we had this report from emergency managers of trees down on a road. This was in a park near Gorham. Back into Williamson County, we had reports in Marion of a large tree down on a home. Limbs were down across the entire county. That, again, was a report from Broadcast Media, again, likely WSIL. And finally, we had a report east-southeast of Craneville there of large tree limbs down on the Crab Orchard campground. So there's been numerous reports in, and unfortunately, it's been a rough evening. All right, we're going to go to some storm footage now, because I want to show you what some of this storm activity looked like. And this comes to us from Rowan Jetzer on Facebook, a good friend of mine from the school. Graduated with him. You can see there things got really windy at his place. I'll have to ask him where exactly this was from. He did not tell me exactly where from, but I did want to share that to you. We've also got another clip from him. I'm going to go ahead and mute the feed here. And as we look at this, he had a question regarding what exactly these clouds were. If you look and hone in on these here in just a second, you'll start to see they kind of rotate a bit, and you can start to see that that is scud clouds that he was seeing there. Not actually part of a tornado, but it is showing you that there were signs of very strong wind shear and rotating clouds earlier with the storms today. So again, I appreciate him sending that footage in. Of course, it's been a rough evening, and so prayers are appreciated again for those people that have been impacted by the storms, because again, numerous storm reports coming through. I'm going to go ahead and continue to check with my family and friends and see if everything is okay at their locations. But again, if you're in Southern Illinois right now, the severe weather threat is over. Reporting in the Weather Center, I'm Cody McFerrin for 9 News. I'll continue to watch this situation. Send your reports in, any videos you might have. But again, thankfully, this severe weather threat is over. Again, in the Weather Center, K. McFerrin, 9 News.